Alrighty, fellas, I got another special guest for you guys. I actually paid this guy about $1,000 to hop onto this call and tell me how great I was because I need that to make my ego feel good because I'm really insecure on the inside. And what he's going to do is he's going to talk about how he's been struggling with SMA for a long time until recently. And until recently, he implemented about 4 or 5 different key elements into his outreach and his appointment booking system, which has led to him getting 3 clients. And as he was just explaining to me off camera, a pipeline full of interested prospects to really kickstart his SMA. And I'll let him tell the full story and introduce himself. But he is somebody who has a very conventional path in the SMA space. Like he's been in this for a minute or so. He's been down the Iman Gadzhi, been down the rabbit hole that so many of us have fallen guilty to. But just recently, he made these couple of changes, and I wanted to bring him on because I think that would be insanely valuable for a lot of people here who feel stuck. You feel stuck watching YouTube videos. You feel stuck with their outreach. You've been in this game for months and haven't signed a client. Hopefully over the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes that Almas is dedicated to really like be pretty open and honest about, what is working for him, which, props to him for, giving back to the community like that could be the insight that could dramatically change your business and find you in a completely different scenario this time next week. So without further ado, Almas, started off with a quick little backstory about who you are. And I guess if you want to pull up, I know you have a little presentation you've done. I don't know if
Yep.
you have the story in the presentation or something like that, but just kind of introduce yourself before you get into the tactical side of things of everything you've done to pull off what you've pulled off here.
There you go. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right, amazing, bro. Thank you so much for the introduction. So cool. As Dylan kindly said, Almas, I started my SMA journey. Well, if you want to say when I first heard about SMA, it's actually been about a year. It was like middle of August. And when I actually started, it was around end of October, start of November. Pretty much for 4 to 5 months, just on the same cycle as a lot of beginners, not knowing what I'm doing, just watching YouTube videos all day, pretending I'm being productive. Like I would literally sit down for like 4 hours, bro, watch videos, and I'd be like, shit, like that was a solid 4 hours of work done. But obviously watching videos is not what signs clients, right? So yeah, literally, I was like every other beginner. Started off with the Iman Gaji route, and then I was sold the dream of, oh my God, like the money's there, right? Like the money's just there to be taken. But little did I know it was all just a trap, right? It looks like free money, but as soon as you grab it, you get stung with all the work that you have to do. So what I did was I went on YouTube to try to find help, and I just did what everyone else was doing, just literally copying Thomas. And I didn't
What a
realize.
graphic. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah. It took me a good like 5 minutes, which is terrible because it's not even that good. But yeah, I didn't realize that I'm literally just becoming a Thomas clone. And funny enough, only Thomas's method only works for him because it's made for him, right? By him. So I didn't get anywhere and I reached a dead end. So I'm gonna show you guys like what my old outreach looked like. This was like my old DM. So I'd go in like, can I get in touch with the owner? And they would always say something like, yeah, like what's up? Then I would hit them with the old, let me be transparent. This is a pitch.
Yeah.
And then straight away go in with it, and half the time they wouldn't even open it again. Like this example here.
Yeah.
Well, like they would literally laugh at me. They'd be like, "Are you having to allow 15 leads for the amount of money?" Like she didn't even understand what I was saying because that's not what I was offering her. So that just goes to show how bad my offer was in the first place. It didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
So then I moved on to cold calling. I feel like a lot of the people that have recognized me is from the cold calling video that I made. That was literally my first time cold calling, and this was the script I followed. And it's literally pretty much word for word what Thomas Garnett was saying. And these are the type of responses I was getting from that. It's like, no, this sounds like a scam. Don't call us again. It's very hostile. And of course, because I was literally offering them the world with no proof pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
So after like 4 to 5 months of doing that, I was like, bro, I can't keep doing this. I need to change something. Because around this time as well, I graduated from uni as well, and shit was getting real. I was like, fuck, like I'm gonna have to get a 9 to 5. If this SMMA thing doesn't work out, I'm gonna have to just, people call it the matrix, right? I'm gonna get stuck in the matrix basically, and I'm never gonna get out. So after doing some research, I came across the RSC, and I got into the RSC community.
Which, by the way, this is a sponsored ad.
Yeah, he paid me a lot of money to be here. Anyways, so yeah, before I even changed my outreach, before I even had hopped in any calls, anything, just being inside that Discord server, I knew that like it felt different this time because it was like, bro, I would go into the wins page and there's literally beginners signing people, they get into appointments, they get into calls, they're signing clients. I was like, bro, like what separates me from these people? Like nothing. So I knew that, okay, if I do the framework that is set out for me, then I have to see success, right? So I want to talk about how my outreach changed because I feel like this is probably what a lot of people want to see, the beginners anyways. I became straight up and honest about my intentions. So instead of trying to build rapport, send 10 messages in a nice conversation and then turn around and basically stab them in the back, straight off the bat, I would tell them, look, these are my intentions. Are you with it or not? And the result of this was instead of getting a bunch of people telling me to basically go away and stop talking to me,
Fuck
I got
off.
a bunch of, yeah, basically, bro, basically like, just fuck off. Don't chat to us. This is what I was getting. Just good luck, good luck. And this is not even all of them. Like this literally took me like 5 minutes to put together. If I did all of them, I could probably make another presentation in itself.
Mhm.
It's crazy. Like when you're clear and honest with people, they reciprocate that as well.
Mhm.
And I think that was one of like the best things about changing that part of my outreach. Because
Because
when
if
you
I had
see
to
this,
imagine, like, I know a lot of people when they're just starting out, they have outreach anxiety.
yeah, yeah, bro. Like I promise you, when you hit up your prospects and they're literally telling you like it's not for us, but good luck. Like we appreciate the hustle, we appreciate the grind. You're like, bro, like of course you're gonna keep going. Fuck yeah, like you're getting encouraged, right?
Mhm.
So secondly, I increased my input heavily, and the way that I did this was by beginning to track what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Before, or I would even say like while in the first days of tracking my outreach, I thought, oh shit, like I must have sent like 150, 200 DMs today. Then I go back and count them. But I sent like 27, 28 DMs. Like of course I'm not. Of course I'm not getting any fucking appointments for sending like 20 DMs a day. And that's even on and off, not even every day, on and off. So increasing my output and increasing my input and actually seeing these in numbers, of course it increased my output as well. I started seeing more appointments. I started seeing more people interested. I mean, that's just basic common sense, right?
Mhm.
And then the next thing that really helped me was that the rejections hurt less as well. Because when I saw other people win, I'd be like, look, these guys are doing the exact same thing that I'm doing and they're seeing success. So I know it's just a matter of time until it's my turn. I just have to be patient. Eventually, what happened was, so this was actually my second client. So I just wanted to show you guys like an example of what it would look like booking an appointment. So this was actually before I was even doing video messages to tell them my pitch. This was when I was pitching over text, and that's actually less effective than just sending a video message for your pitch. Yeah, so you just have a little read of that. He's very open to hearing what I do, and then in the video I explain, and then there you go. Literally within 4 messages, I had an appointment booked.
100%. Like clockwork.
Exactly, exactly. Like how can you fail when you offer something? It's a no brainer for these business owners, but you have to present it in a way where I think Stefan said this analogy. It was either Stefan or Wyatt, I can't remember, but they said the way that most conventional agencies when they start do it, it's like when you're at a club and you meet a 10 out of 10, you take her home, you spoke to her the whole night, and then she takes the dick out when she's on your bed. How would you react to that?
That's a good one.
How would you react to that?
That's
Bro?
a good one.
You'd kick.
I'm gonna
you'd
use
kick
that one. That one's getting used in an email.
if you're not, bro, Dylan's emails are something else, bro. This is fucking insane. But yeah, like, how would you feel, bro? You'd kick that him or her out of your fucking house. You'd be like, don't even look in my direction again if you don't fucking kill him. You know what I mean? You'd be like, don't ever look at me. So you guys are probably wondering how this helps you, because let's be honest, you don't give a fuck about me. You don't give a fuck about where I'm going. You don't give a fuck about my journey. You want to know how this will help you. So I'm going to tell you guys is a few steps that you can implement today. Nothing complex. The reason that I only did a few is because I actually want you to go away and do these things. If I give you 100 things to do, you're not going to do them.
Yeah.
So the things that I would recommend that you start doing. So number one, being honest with your prospects. Like I said, creates a good tone, makes them respect you. You'll get a lot more positive responses from these business owners, and that will make you want to keep going. It will reduce your anxiety when you're doing your outreach. Number two, tracking your outreach. Once again, you have things in numbers. There's no emotion. It's all logic. When you operate your business with logic as opposed to emotion, it's like it's night and day. It's night and day. Taking emotion out of things. Make sure that you fix your outreach according to your metrics. So, for example, if you're sending 100 DMs a day and you're getting one response, your opening message is probably shit. If you're getting loads of responses but you're not getting a lot of leads, your opening message is probably extremely misleading, or you're building too much rapport and then stabbing them in the back. So you have to fix these things as you go along. A lot of people ask for a number. I would say between 250 to 500 DMs. Dylan, if you agree or disagree, you can interject.
Yeah. What do you mean?
So like, how many DMs would you say to send before you start thinking, okay, I want to change this, I want to change
Oh
that?
yeah, at least 250.
I would say 250 at minimum. If it's like kind of working, maybe 500 if you're
Yeah.
not too sure, but 250 at minimum. Next, pump out those outreach numbers. The more people you contact, the more likely it is that you're going to book an appointment. There's no way around it. And also work backwards. So if it takes you 100 DMs to book one appointment,
Yeah.
and then it takes you 5 sales calls to book one client, then you know that for every 500 DMs you're sending, you're going to get one client.
Predictable revenue.
Exactly. When you think of things this way, it also makes it a lot easier, because then you kind of know in your head, if I send around this many DMs, then I'm going to get this result. It's a lot more helpful than just kind of stabbing in the dark and not knowing what you're doing. And my final tip, be nice to your prospects, even if they say no. And the reason I say this is because I've had some of the appointments that I booked, it's from people that said no to me, and then I followed up with them and I was super nice. I would like their posts, I would engage with them. And then after they saw that, okay, like this guy's not a complete, like he's not evil, he doesn't just want our money, like he's actually a real person that has emotions, they eventually said yes. So always be nice to your prospects.
100%.
And yeah, because this is a paid sponsorship, I have to mention the RSC. Guys, I recommend that you join the RSC. Even if you don't do the first client challenge, you'll still get a lot of value from it.
Free community. Go tell people to
Yeah.
join the free community.
There's no loss. there's absolutely no loss made from it.
That's awesome. Well, I very much so appreciate your time. I think this is insanely valuable. I think, also like, what I see a lot of is like, I think the biggest piece of value that you were able to deliver and you didn't even, intentionally deliver, but it's this relatability, right? You were telling your story in the earlier stages of this presentation about how like you went down the Thomas Garnett, you went down to Iman Gadzhi, and it's like there's so many people that are in that exact same situation where, sometimes, just as me is like, I've been in this space for 5 years, and I have my resume now and I have a track record. So sometimes it can be a little bit harder for me to relate with somebody who's like, just starting out. But I think like, bringing you on here as somebody who is in that earlier stages of their agency space, but is doing things properly and is finding success and being able to relay those messages and those lessons that you've learned can really hit, different parts of the brain, different parts of, people's emotions and whatnot. And I think this, the people that, have watched this video and then actually implement on this, I think it's going to leave a long lasting positive impression to people inside the community.
So, bro, that's all I can ask for. Just even if this video just changes like one person's agency, like for me, that's like my job's done. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. So where can we plug you? Like can you please shout all your stuff out?
Yeah,
I know
I
you got a
have
little
a
community that you're building as well too.
yeah. So I have a YouTube channel. It's just it's
We
a
linked
lot
in the
like
description. It'll be at the
yeah.
top of the description.
Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot less like intense. It's literally just like me talking about what I do and my
Yeah.
journey. So like since I've signed a client now, I'm gonna actually be opening up the doors to the service delivery because I know it's like a bit of a hidden part of the SMMA space, but it's something I want to uncover because that's literally what the beginners like need. It's the service delivery. So you can look out for that. But yeah, just the YouTube channel. That's what I'm gonna plug here.
Alrighty. No course that we can buy
Maybe in the future there'll be a $10,000 course. Maybe in the future.
with a crazy
But
guarantee and a bunch of contract stipulations. I love it.
yeah, 100%.
Alrighty. Well, I appreciate you very much, and I will see you soon inside RSC.
All right, bro. Thank you.